constructive engagement between Ghana's Ministry of Communications and MultiChoice Ghana. And this is all to resolve the standoff that ensued not too long ago. Quashie made these comments after the MultiChoice Group rejected calls from Ghana's Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nartey George, for a 30% reduction in subscription fees. He says prolonged tensions could undermine investor confidence across the sub-region, stressing that the matter could be settled through negotiations rather than public confrontation. And to discuss this further, we joined on the line this afternoon by South Africa's High Commissioner Designate to Ghana, Benjamin Kofi Quashie. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Dima, thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I mean, you are right in the thick of things, a mediator of note. You have called for both parties to resolve this issue of subscription amicably in the boardroom. But perhaps let's start with a little bit of background of how we got here and why it's important for there to be an amicable resolution to the standoff.
Very well. Thank you very much. Greetings to your cherished listeners and viewers. I believe that when we took over as a new administration, there have been reviews that every sector minister have been asked to do with things that fall under their ministries. And in such a way that the communications minister found it that MultiChoice, as he puts it, was overpaying the Ghanaian subscriber and giving us nothing that was according to the value that they were charging us. I think that with the fourth and back, MultiChoice had made it clear that, yes, we agree we would be able to solve this, but not under the timelines that the minister gave. I believe that now that both countries have agreed, or both the entities, the two entities have agreed that we should have a boardroom resolution, we will definitely get a solution to this in the days coming.
So the premise of this and what underpins this 30% reduction in subscription is, as you say, Ghana saying that you've been overpaying, and what you've been overpaying does not equate to the services that you are receiving. Overpaying in comparison to whom, and what type of disparities have there been between what Ghana's paying and perhaps what the measure is that you use to come to this conclusion?
Very well. So in the West African sub-region where DSTV MultiChoice operates, we are told that they don't pay up to the $50 that Ghanaians have been asked to be paying every month for premium services. In the whole of West Africa, we are the highest that pays for such a subscription. And also the programming, most of the programming are those that are recorded, not live programs. And so those are the disparities that they looked at. And in comparing prices with our neighbors, Nigeria, Togo, in West Africa. Now, what has even culminated in this decision being pushed is how good the Ghanaian economy has been doing lately with the cedi, our currency being the best performing currency in the whole world. So we believe that there should be reductions, because when the cedi was fluctuating, when the cedi was quite a bad currency, so to speak, the prices were high. But now that the cedi has done well, performing better against the US dollar and all our other major currency traders, we believe that it should reflect also in the change of amounts that DSTV or MultiChoice pays. So that is where the comparison is coming from. And I want to also add that in as much as we do that comparison in the business field, there are a lot of key factors that an entity like MultiChoice will also be looking at. And I've read their communique and I see nothing wrong with it, but all I see is that there should be negotiations so that we are able to have a middle line where both parties will align to what they need to do. Nobody should go into this negotiation thinking that I have to win. We should go into this negotiation ensuring that it's a win-win for both parties. The business entities that are investing so much in the Ghanaian economy should also feel secured. They should feel that they are having value for money. And the Ghanaian consumers that watch DSTV and the MultiChoice are also able to say that whatever they are paying for, indeed, they are getting the right services.
I'd like to talk on the impact on investor confidence in just a moment. But before I move to that, what is the reasoning that was given by MultiChoice for these inflated premiums being paid by Ghana?
I've read the first communique from MultiChoice. They indicated that anti-piracy. They are making a lot of payments for this anti-piracy stuff. They are making a lot of payments to the Ghana Tourism Authority. I'm sure that there's a fee that they pay. And they also indicated in that there are certain operational costs that they couldn't put out in the public, but they indicated that those costs are what has made them to be charging the Ghanaian consumer a bit higher than any other in the West African sub-region.
One thing that you've been quite vocal about is the fact that this issue should not really be playing out in public, that this should be resolved in the boardroom, as you've stated. But what impact has this public spat had on investor confidence?
I think that every country is careful, especially I am looking at it within the context of the African, after the free trade that we have among ourselves. And I think that, investor confidence seeks to dwindle if you play such critical decisions in the public domain. Rightly so, the Honorable Minister Nartey George had believed, and if you ask me, the opinion in Ghana, almost everybody supports the approach that he is coming up with. Not the media banter anyway, but he asking MultiChoice to reduce their costs in terms of what they put on for their subscriptions. But the Honorable Minister, all we have said to him, which I believe that in the last communique that the National Communication Authority issued about it yesterday, they indicated that there's a team that has been formed. Both parties will present their people and ensure that we have a boardroom discussion as to how we'll be able to do this. Because if we don't do it that way and we keep on playing it in the public domain, it dwindles investor confidence. People want to be sure that their investments are protected. People want to be sure that we don't use public sentiments to deal with trade issues. We don't use public sentiment to deal with investor confidence. And I think that as an ambassador designate to the Republic of South Africa from Ghana, I would want to see more South African businesses coming into Ghana and ensuring that they help us uplift our economy. South Africa is the highest trading partner that we have in the whole of Africa. Last year was about $1.9 billion US. We cannot joke with these. These are real figures that I know that the government of Ghana is so appreciative of the South African investor communities that come to our country to invest in. So we will do everything possible to ensure that there's no mistreatment of any foreign entity into our country.
Before I let you go, High Commissioner, I'd like to find out from you what the impact of the MultiChoice Canal Plus acquisition is going to be on Ghana, or is on Ghana. Could you care to comment on
that? I have shied away from commenting on that for obvious reasons. I've not seen the final takeover yet.
And what are those obvious reasons?
The obvious reasons is that in our deliberations with MultiChoice, nothing has come up to do with Canal France International or whatever that we are hoping that they are interested in taking over. I have asked questions to some of them and they said they are still working on it, so they don't have the details to share. But in any case, that should not be an issue that affects anybody. If a business wants to take over another business, why not? They can. But all I am saying and all I am praying for is that we should not let MultiChoice be bitter, even if they want to exit our economy, which we don't pray for, which we believe that would solve amicably in the days to come. It wouldn't have any effect on whatever they plan to take over, but the effect that we want to establish is that the business entity MultiChoice should not be taken advantage of, and also the Ghanaian consumer, the Ghanaian person who is subscribing to their services should also not be taken advantage of. We would get to that thin line and we'll solve it as diplomacy has always been.
So we thank you very much for your insight this afternoon. And as I let you go, is there any sort of indication as to when these mediations are going to be taking place?
Well, per the communique yesterday, they are going to start work as soon as possible. We were not given timelines. I believe that we will be given timelines in the days to come. But what the minister entreated them to do was to form that committee so that they can start work as to when and how they think that we can be able to get out of this situation that we find ourselves in. But I don't think it will be long because the minister has indicated that he wants to see this done as soon as possible. And I'm sure that the committee's work has been cut out, and whatever it is, we'll get to find a solution very soon.
So we thank you very much for your time and your insight. That's South Africa's High Commissioner Designate to Ghana, Mr. Benjamin Kofi Quashie, taking us to exactly 24 minutes after 4.